I'm at Chester's Roman fort today, part of the Hadrian's Wall complex. But what I want to do in this video is pose the question, why in northern England are there Roman artefacts and remains so well preserved, well looked after, well publicised and well visited, whereas in southern Scotland they're almost nothing. The different attitudes to the Roman invasion as it happened spawned different attitudes to the Roman invasion afterwards. You could be forgiven for thinking that the Romans stopped the Hadrian's Wall and didn't even go into Scotland. But they did. Forts like these were constructed in the south of Scotland too. One of the best preserved Roman bathhouses in Great Britain. You just wonder what lies under the ground at Trimontium. It really is miraculous the way this place has been restored and unearthed. You need to come and see it for yourself. What a place! Completely breathtaking. But let's go to Scotland and have a look. Is there more on offer than just Trimontium? In southern Scotland, however, our wonder and glorification, dramatisation even, of the Roman invasion is not quite so apparent. In fact, in southern Scotland over the centuries, it would seem that the people have almost tried to erase any memory whatsoever that the Romans were ever here. This, believe it or not, is the site of Trimontium, the Romans' main base in southeast Scotland, right on Deer Street and on the River Tweed here. But all that remains is nothing, I'm afraid, just a field. As well as Trimontium, the Romans had a huge base on the west side of the country near the present day town of Lanark, which was known as Castle Dykes. It was a two-pronged attack up the country, the west and the east. But from Trimontium here, there was a cross-country road, a road which has never really been researched in any great detail, but which ran from here at Trimontium to Castle Dykes in the west. But this road ran through real hostile territory, the territory of the Scottish tribes of the Selgovae. So between here and Castle Dykes, the Romans needed another fort, another permanent installation which could be used to defend themselves against the Selgovae. Thought then that the road ran from here at Trimontium along the north side of the River Tweed there, through what's now Galashiels, towards Cloven Fords and up the Tweed Valley towards Peebles. There have been numerous finds of Roman artefacts just on the outside of Galashiels there where the new housing development in Melrose Gate is, which kind of proves that the Romans were in that area. Let's go west towards Peebles and see if we can find any traces of the other Roman fort, which was known as Line Roman Fort. This site here at Corbridge, it's absolutely brilliant, it's absolutely astounding. I can hardly believe this exists. The amount of treasures in the museum or treasures out here on the actual site, but it begs the question, what happened to all the treasures from Trimontium? Do they still lie under the ground? Are they in museums in Edinburgh or London? They certainly aren't on display in the Scottish borders, that's for sure. This is another one of the streets running through the town. You can see the drainage ditches down either side of it. From reading the literature on display in the museum here, it would seem that the main purpose of this town and Roman fort was to feed the Roman armies in their plight to overtake and overthrow the Scotland or Caledonia. So they didn't do a very good job here. The Roman legions advanced up the Tweed Valley here west from Trimontium. This was real hostile territory, the real stronghold of the Selgovae in southern Scotland, so the Romans needed a permanent base, a solid structure they could defend against the wild men of the south of Scotland, and it was round here, not far from Peebles, that they decided to build that. This is Line Kirk, just west of Peebles, and apparently Line Roman Fort was in this area somewhere. Now I've never been to this site before, so I don't know what remains there are, but apparently it's in a bit of a better state and more recognisable as a fort than what Trimontium is. It's not very well known either, this fort. I mean, I've only really found out about it myself a couple of weeks ago. And it's, you know, it was a major Roman installation. Apparently there are still traces of it visible. This is it. This is the site of Line Roman Fort. Clearly it's like nothing on Hadrian's Wall, but you can see the outline of the fort. You can see where the battlements and the ramparts were around the edges of the fort here, no problem at all. Wow! On a remote hillside in a lonely field in Peeblesshire lies what was once the seat of the Roman Empire as they cross-countryed over the Scottish borders from Trimontium to Castle Dykes. A huge permanent instalment which is now completely abandoned and forgotten by everybody. For me, it's still a fascinating place. Maybe even more fascinating in the fact that nobody's really researched it very much. It has been excavated. There was a huge red sandstone building right in the centre here, which was the commandant's house. You can almost imagine it just like Chester's Fort, to be honest. But there's never anybody here as well, which lets you have the run of the place, unlike Hadrian's Wall, which is overrun by tourists pretty much every day in life. You can just imagine if this site had been anywhere near Hadrian's Wall, it would have been dug up and excavated. There would have been a museum displaying all the artefacts. There probably would have been a coffee shop and toilets there as well, welcoming visitors. But here, there's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Why is that? Why? Why do we ignore these sites? But in the north of England, they embrace them. The only visitors to the site these days are sheep. And people like me who have a real interest in this stuff. I wonder how far under the earth the permanent buildings of this structure are. What would be left to be uncovered? Surely some form of foundations would be there, just like they are along the length of Hadrian's Wall. And this is interesting. Archaeological notes from the dig in this place, I can't remember, 100 years ago maybe, clearly states that the commandant's house was made of a red sandstone. Now that's clearly no a native stone to this area, but this big stone here on the ground is definitely a red sandstone. So is that a brick from the commandant's house there? Probably. So there you go. The Roman invasion of Great Britain. Why not discover it for yourself by coming to Scotland and looking round fields full of sheep with small ditches in them? Or go to England, Hadrian's Wall, and visit the most spectacular open air museum in the whole of Britain, maybe even Europe.